Right, morning everyone. Right, today I'm going to show you how to plant up tubs with bedding plants that actually work and last. First things first, a good sized tub is really important. The more soil you have, the better water retention you've got. Now these tubs are ones I've been looking after on one of my estates for about 5 years now. So all the main prep's already done. So in the bottom there's some crock to allow drainage. Then there's some drainage beads which also actually hold on to moisture as well. And then we've now got on top 5 years worth of soil that I've added on bit by bit, compost, recycling some old stuff. And I've already done some of the prep on this. Last week I took out all the last of the roots and the dead bits of plants from last year. We had some fuchsias in there last year and I'd left those in to see if they'd come back, but they weren't having a go at it at all, so got rid of those. And I've just gone through and taken the last few bits out of here, fag butts, because people like to use these as a cigarette bin. A couple of weeds that started to grow, and also cats like to use it as litter tray, so I got rid of their leftovers. Can't be too bad, little wormy likes it in here. So now what we're going to do, there's lots of soil in here, but I do have trailing plants this year, and each year I've been adding to it and bringing the soil levels up. So what I've got, some really good organic compost. So I'm just going to add in a fair amount of that, just to bring the level up again. Organic if you can, but the main thing when you're buying compost is to make sure it doesn't have any peat in it. Peat is now quite scarce. In the 80s to 90s it was an in thing to get peat in your compost. It's now protected. A lot of it comes from Ireland, but it only accumulates at 1 inch per 100 years. And the rate they were farming it, it was going to deplete completely. So they've changed that now, and what they tend to use instead, unless it's purely organic, is coir, which is the husk from coconut, which works really well. It's very good for drainage. Excuse me. So that works really good too. Now I'll show you the bits that I've got for this year. First year when I did this 5 years ago, I went for hot colours, just because I thought I could, and they work quite well. But it turned out that choosing cool colours the following year actually tended to work better. Now it's really weird because the layout of this site, some of it's in shade almost all the time, and on the other side of the site it's almost in sunshine all the time. But the cooler colours seem to work better. Not really sure why. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to show you what I've got this year. So we've got some silver leaf, which is really nice little accent piece. In terms of numbers, for this size, what I've done is I've based it on going for 9 plants in here, or sort of 9 plants in each of the tubs. There's 8 tubs, so that's 72 plants, but I've bought over 100. So if I've got space that I need to fill in, I'm going to fill in the gaps. But also what it does mean is that I've got some left over for my pots at home tonight when I get home. Got some geranium, a variety of. Some really lovely trailing verbena. Thought that'd be quite nice. Got some purple in there. Just see the young stuff just coming out as very pale blue. Lobelia, which is really nice. Got some Ageratum, which will come out, got a little flower in there, which will come out in a white to a pink. Some Impatiens, love these. Good solid shiny leaf on these. Now these aren't as shiny as the ones I've had before, but the actual flower colour is beautiful, lovely pale pink. 3 different colours of petunias. This is Petunia Sophinia, and the maintenance side of things, I'll go over this when they've started flowering properly in 3 or 4 weeks' time when they start to fill out. Got some begonias, lovely little delicate yellow centre to the flower there. And we've got some low-level verbena as well. Now, this isn't quite the soft, cool colours that I was going for, but it will still work with the rest of it. So we've got to mix a few different bits, so all I'm going to be doing is having a mix and match of everything. If you're planting in a border with bigger plants, you tend to have 3, 5, 7 of each one, but when you've got pots like this, the way I'm doing them, you don't need to have all the same thing. You can do, no reason why not, but I want to mix it all up so there's a bit of everything everywhere. So when you're getting these out, tease them out by pushing them out from the bottom, and if you grab from the base of the plant there, occasionally you get ones that are a bit sticky, and it should come quite easily. Just got to be gentle with them first time round. So, begonia. And what I'm going to try and do is, as they go in, is balance the colours around the pot. Doesn't matter if one of them doesn't have a flower on it. It'll be out soon enough. You can get smaller versions of these through the post from someone like Parker's, and you get them in kind of half this size. They work out really, really cheap. You can get those for almost 5p a go. Just depends on how many you buy. Work out, because I've got so many varieties, there's actually going to be more than that per pot. 2, 3. These are always a bit of a pain, so just tangle amongst each other. Now, if when you're taking these out you do break some, don't worry too much. Yes, it's like, but they will recover. Yep. So that's given us 9 plants there. So I've got 2 nice big trailers on opposite corners. And what I'm going to do, see that one's more of a trailer as well. This is more upright. That will trail. So let's get these in there. Let's have one of those, because that is stunning. Love that. So what I've actually now got, 11. So I was going to go for 9, got a couple of extras. I'll still have plenty left over. I think I've got 100, 6, 12, 18, 24, 133 total. So that means I've got more than enough to do this. I can probably actually add 10, 11, 12, 13, 17. Right, so I could actually do a couple more in each pot and it would still work. But it just depends on the size of each one as they go in. So, we've got the new compost in there. We've got the plants in place. If you've got trailers, always put them on the outside. You see this one's kind of trying to flop over the edge already. That's why I brought the soil level up. If it's too low down in the pot, when they try and trail out, they'll just trail inside. But with all the leaf that's going to be in here, they will trail out. And the reason for having so many is part of how I make sure that these actually survive so well. Lots of leaf and lots of growth that fills the entire pot does two things. It covers the soil, so it stops water evaporating in the sunshine. But also what it does as well, it actually creates its own little microclimate, so it's like its own mini jungle. As it fills up and you have all the leaf in there, when it gets watered, all the moisture stays in there, so it works like a high-level mulch and actually keeps all the moisture in the soil, and that's why it's so good to have such a big pot as well, because it can hold more moisture. Small pots are much more difficult to manage. You do have to water them once or twice a day, especially at temperatures again 25 plus. You've got to put in a lot more water to actually make them survive. These ones will do better. And the reason the pots are so big here, one is because the site's so big anyway, but because it's all residents here, not all of them actually do anything to look after the pots. They just expect them to be done, which is fine. But we do have a couple of people here that actually do go out and water them a couple of times each week when I'm not here. Now I'm here every Thursday and Friday, and I water them each of those 2 days I'm here. Now when I do fill them up, when I do water them, normally at home you get a watering can with a rose and you put in a couple of litres of water. I will put in a whole watering can of 5 litres to soak the entire thing, because I don't know who's going to water next, so I give it a really, really, really good drink. Now, put the plants in. You shouldn't need that at all, because I've prepped the soil so well. It's got a really good loose structure, and that works for 2 ways. One, it puts a lot of oxygen back into the soil once you've turned it over, which the roots need, but that means there's lots of space for the roots to actually grow down through it all. And also when you put the water on the surface, when it drains down, it's got lots of space for water pockets, so it means that the roots will actually grow out to where the water is and actually make them stronger. So, a couple of fingers in. You can always add in a little bit more soil afterwards if you need to. And don't worry about getting any soil on the leaves of the plants. You don't want to leave it there, but when you water it you can wash that off. If you're really worried about water retention or water loss, you can actually mulch the surface, and you can do that with pretty much anything. What tends to work really nicely is something like purple slate or green slate, because it shows up the colour of the plants and the leaves really, really well. I won't need to with these ones, because they will cover up the surface within 3 or 4 weeks. So it won't actually need to have a mulch, because they'll do that themselves. The branch is a bit broken there. Easy as that. All in the preparation, as with pretty much anything. Right, I'm going to put this back in the right spot. Hold on. So there you go, all in. So in a few weeks' time I'll come back and show you maintenance on these and how to keep them tidy. Really the only thing that will need any work on them is the Petunia Surrey. To make them flower really well is to make sure that you take off all the dead flowers, but that won't be for a while. It's just one there. So I'll get all the rest of these done, and I'll probably put up a couple of stills on Facebook or on Google+. But there you go. Any questions, post them at the end. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with this one. In the meantime, there's a video coming up on choosing turf and continuation on the project garden. So, have fun with your pots. See you soon.